We are live. Welcome to the Redpill station. I'm here with Ryan and Stacy Edwards here, the crypto couple, and we are going to be talking about cryptocurrency on the show, blockchain, Bitcoin. You guys have heard all the terms, but we're going to actually try to break those down so people can kind of understand those a little bit more. And if you guys want to go first well, actually, you know what? Let's talk about like how did you guys get started like with like cryptocurrency and everything else and Bitcoin? I mean, was Bitcoin your first cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so Bitcoin was definitely the way into it. We actually first heard about it in 2011, and from the webbot Cliff High, and started hearing about it, and we're like, okay, what is this internet money? Like, we don't really trust it. So yeah, first heard about it then.
And we actually bought a bunch of silver instead.
Yeah.
So we're like, we want to do some investing.
Oh, wow.
There's this thing called Bitcoin, and we didn't get into it. We bought silver.
You guys bought silver first. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Did you guys do gold or anything else, just silver?
No, silver was easier to come across.
Cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, cheaper. You know, so you feel like you actually had some. And buying silver instead of Bitcoin was a huge mistake that we ended up realizing that we were making. So to correct that mistake, in 2017, we sold all of that silver and went into Bitcoin with that, which we had taken a loss on the silver, but we had realized, you know, we had lost out on millions of dollars by not buying Bitcoin when we first heard about it.
Yeah.
But you know, we sold it and bought Bitcoin in 2017 in, you know, July.
Nice.
Which was really exciting, and we're really glad we did, and we've kind of been addicted ever since.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm totally like ignorance on fire when it comes to it right now because I talked about it in 2011. I told everybody to do it. Had a friend that I know that literally made $300,000 to $400,000 on it.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Because of what you told him?
Because of what I told him.
That's awesome.
Ridiculous, yeah. And literally know somebody else. I have another friend that has his brother made almost the same exact amount.
Wow.
Just by doing cryptocurrency. Sold it kind of at a weird time for him. It was only like, I think it was at 12 or 13,000 mark.
Okay.
But he sold it then, and then he's doing great now. And he's a huge believer, obviously, in it. Me, I was a huge believer just because of the fact that I am, you know, totally anti-Fed and anti-fiat. To me, it was a way of like just, wow, this is how we can take control. It decentralizes the money. This is amazing. I love this.
Absolutely.
And ever since then, I was like, no, buy Bitcoin, telling everybody to buy it. And then when it started blowing up, I was like thinking in my head, see, I told you. And I was like, wait, why didn't I know I told people, but I look so stupid right now. Like, I didn't even capitalize on it when I should have.
Well, we really don't think it's too late.
Yeah, it's not too
The
late.
Yeah.
way that the market cycles run, this has been a market cycle, but a new one is just beginning. So there's new opportunities out there. It's not over. So
Nice.
you didn't miss your window.
I know,
One window
man.
closed, another one is going to open. So you're going to be good there.
Shoot. So I guess like when it comes to cryptocurrency, and when you talk to people about it, they get really, really confused about it. They have a lot of questions on it. On like what it is or why is this something that's tangible? I mean, to them, they think of it and they go, well, it's internet money, you know, and to them it's this thing, oh, it's just, well, you know, what's internet money? How would you, I guess when you talk about cryptocurrency, I have to first, which is why I have the shirt on, you know, blockchain. I say blockchain one more time. I have this shirt because when I try to tell people what it is, it's so frustrating because I'm like, it's blockchain. And they're just like, blockchain? Yeah, blockchain. Like, blockchain. Say it one more time. Like, it's blockchain. It's not hard to understand. But, like, when you break down, like, a diagram of what it is, I mean, for me, it's easy just because, you know, I build computers, you know, software, things like that. It makes sense to me, and the way the world's going, it makes a lot of sense. How would you explain, like, the blockchain to somebody?
Well, before you start explaining it, it is kind of like explaining somebody, Andreas Antonopoulos always gives this example of it's like trying to explain what email is to somebody in 1992. Like, there's just no way to explain to somebody who has no worldview of how that could possibly work, how it's going to work. And that's why it's so hard to talk to people about it, because it is a wholly new technology that we don't have the basis for understanding yet, but we will. So it just takes time. So really for us, it's about simplifying it. And sometimes we use really simplistic examples, and when we go to Bitcoin meetups and we talk to people who are talking about it on a more technical level. I'm sure it might be frustrating for them to hear us explain it to new people in a more simplistic way, but we really want new people to understand it and feel excited to get into it. And people aren't going to be excited to get into it if it's so complicated that they don't understand it.
Right.
So we try to make things really, really simple, but go ahead and explain what would you say.
I mean, that was a great way to say it. So blockchain is, it's basically like a distributed ledger. So you can think of it as like an Excel spreadsheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a distributed Excel spreadsheet that everybody has a copy of the transactions that have occurred on that ledger. So everybody has the same copy, and because it's distributed, it is stronger.
Nice. So kind of like, I like that point because it's distributed amongst everybody. So it's because a lot of people, I guess where I break it down is I talk about it being centralized and decentralized. And something being centralized is, and I've heard a few people use this example, it's a really good example. They'll basically say it's like Wikipedia versus an encyclopedia. You can take something like an encyclopedia where they'll take like, maybe 1,000 people or whoever amount of people that are indexed at the end of the book that say, okay, this is the person that we can reference to when we're talking about where the definition came from, the origins. And you have your book, and the people that are allowed to purchase that book get the information, and the people that give the information, it's all centralized. You know what I mean? Versus we have something else called Wikipedia. You can go on your phone and ask Google, like, hey, what's the definition of this or definition of that? Pulls up Wikipedia, shows you definition, shows you everything you want to know about it. And guess what? The author of that is on most subjects over 300, 400,000 people that can log in and basically go in and re-verify and see that, hey, no, this is the right definition, this is that. It's hard for someone to change that information, even though some people say some of it's wrong, some of it is, but for the most part, all the information, everybody can all legitimize it and come to consensus that, hey, this is the correct information based on this subject. So it's decentralized. Now we all have a piece of it. But the part where I get stuck on, though, is when I'm trying to explain it to, like, because I know you said it's a copy, right? Mm-hmm. So how would we explain it? Is there a way to explain it when we say, well, if I give a copy to him, so if I give a copy of $100 to like my friend Rob over there, then I shouldn't have $100 still in my pocket. He should have it. But how is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the copy, basically, the $100, if you think about it in Bitcoin terms, never leaves the blockchain. So you're not actually giving him anything on that ledger. It's just basically it's moving the sticky note that says, okay, it's not Tony's anymore, it's Rob's. Right? And so you're not actually giving him anything. So the copy stays the same.
It's like a digital notary.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, perfect. Okay, nice. So it's no longer mine. Now the name changes to his.
Exactly.
And everybody verifies that.
To go through, that validation. The miners have to validate it, and they all have to independently look at it. A certain amount have to independently look at it and say, yep, that is in fact, you have the $100 in your funds, and you are in fact sending it over, and then they have to agree on that. And if they saw that you only had $99.99, your transaction would not go through because you have that oversight of all of them, having to just agree upon it before it can go through.
Exactly. No, I like that. Do you guys, so my question to you guys, and then we have Sean Alami here and Mr. Rob Coates here, Coats Not Jackets. And you guys are kind of, I talk about this at work like constantly. And Sean is actually into investing. He loves investments. Like what, just from hearing that so far, like what do you take from that? Like just with Bitcoin or just with blockchain, sorry.
I think that the risk, there is a certain amount of risk out there by getting out there and getting into the cryptocurrency. I myself have taken different chances. I've invested in different companies that do crypto mining, and so I have seen this trend where around this time last year, November, we noticed that cryptocurrency had started to take a rise, and by the time it was right around December 11th, where it hit the peak, close to around $20,000 a coin. I think that it's hard to explain, but it's not. A lot of people are looking for a for sure thing, a promise, something that can be tangible that they can say, hey, cryptocurrency, it's backed by the federal government. it's backed by the Securities Commission. You know, if I put my money in it, my money will be safe. I'm not going to just lose it. But you know, this is a good start to a process. I think there's a lot more that we need to learn about cryptocurrency and how it works and how we can be safe with putting our money into it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that is going to take time. I think that this rise that happened around this time last year was maybe of things to come. I know that you can use cryptocurrency for almost anything, and there's several examples that I can go into, but I think the future of it could be wide open.
Cool. So, and you mentioned a mining company you were with, right?
Yes.
And then you guys were talking about miners. Something I love the fact that, like, the other day I was like thinking about it. Do you guys remember, like, this movie? I'm trying to think. This was like, you get Ready Player One. You guys have seen this, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So if you're having a hard time, like, kind of understanding, well, Bitcoin, for instance, like, to me, it's crazy because this man, James Holiday in the movie, right? He reminds me so much of, what was his name? Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah.
This is the Satoshi Nakamoto, like, period. Like, the fact that he's which we all haven't really seen who this Satoshi person is, right? He goes out and he has 3 keys that everybody in the game has to find, right? And when they find these keys, they basically go and they have to, well, in this game, they're basically playing a game. They race or they do something. Well, it's funny, they race. But what do Bitcoin miners do? They race.
Race to finish the block.
To finish the blockchain. And then once they finish the blockchain, they receive the Bitcoin in the end. And it's funny, but you receive the key. And once you receive the key, once you get all the keys, which I would call it a blockchain, you actually then get the ultimate prize in the end.
Wow.
But I just think it's like so crazy that like Ready Player One already like kind of explains Bitcoin in the entire movie. It's so amazing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't know. Does that help a little bit understand like Bitcoin?